Good morning, everyone. Myself Nikita from Group 193B. Today, I'm here to represent my topic Systemic Regulation of Visceral Functions and Autonomic Control of Body Activities. Systemic Regulation of Visceral Function. Visceral motor system is regulated in part by circulatory in cerebral cortex. System help to control in integration of neuroendocrine reflexes, gastric motility and gut secretion, central autonomic pleo, cardiovascular and respiratory regulation, energy metabolism and thermoregulation, role in reproductive function and stress modulation, circadian and ultradian rhythm generation to regulate above functions. Autonomic nervous system ANS. ANS is a component of PNS, peripheral nervous system, that regulates the involuntary physiological processes including heart rate, breathing rate, digestion, urination, sexual response, body temperature, etc. It influences the activities of vessel. ANS has two divisions, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system SNS activates body for fight or flight. Parasympathetic nervous system PNS it rests and digests. Parasympathetic often produce antagonist effect through the release of neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Both division of ANS affects visceral organ in different way. Autonomic control of body activities. As we discuss, both divisions of ANS affect body in different way. They show two effects, synergistic and antagonistic. Synergistic. In this, SNS and PNS both produce similar effect on body activities. Example is salivary secretion. In this, they produce both similar effect. Antagonistic. In this, both SNS and PNS show different effect on the body activities. Example, heart rate. During emergency, SNS increases it, whereas PNS decreases it. Lung bronchi, SNS dilated, PNS constricted. In emergency, pupil, sympathetic nervous system dilates it, whereas parasympathetic nervous system relaxes it. Urinary bladder, SNS relaxed, whereas PNS constricted. In last, sweating. Sympathetic nervous system increases it, whereas parasympathetic nervous system decreases it. Thank you.